get started, just want to really congratulate Jalen Steele. Kid came home, local kid, played well. I'm not sure if he got hurt in the second half. I didn't see him a lot, which was probably a good thing. But I thought he played well, so just want to acknowledge the fact that he did a great job coming home and shooting the ball the way he did. I thought we did a good job of scoring off turnovers, creating turnovers, being aggressive with our defense, really doing a good job of pressuring, not getting off balance, containing the dribble. Solid job shooting the free throws. That was good. Thought Armani played a really good game. 11 rebounds, 8 at the half. Just does a good job of handling the ball, making decisions. A physical guard, can guard multiple people. I thought he played really well. Derek came off the bench and shot the ball well. Thought Jarnell and Jarnell and Trey Golden played well, which was good to see. Like I said, those two guys played well. We got a chance. Because you need those guys playing at the level they're capable of playing at. I think everything kind of falls in line when that happens. If they don't play at the level we need them to play at, then all of a sudden you're in scramble mode trying to plug pieces to make them work. So it's good to see those guys play well. I think we had a season high 19 assists, which was great, distributing the ball, and Trey made a lot of it happen. I just think it was anybody, because those guys are talented players, so it doesn't really matter who they're up against. But you got to be able to play well to get over that mental hump, because they put the time in practice and they go through the procedures in practice to be successful. But you got to get out on the floor and have one of those games to be at home with a really good crowd. Thought the crowd was great again, which that's what we expect. But I mean, I just think for those guys, when you're talented players, you got a target on your back. You need games like that to get over that mental hump, because the physical part is there, but that mental part of bog you down. I feel like you got a 15-pound vest on your back. I hope so. I thought they were in attack mode, but looking like themselves has to be consistent. It has to be over time, and then that's who you are. It can't be one game then miss 3, one game miss 4. I mean, looking like yourself is on a consistent basis, and that's what you expect. And I thought Jordan did a good job. Even though he get 20 points, I thought he did a good job. Got 4 fouls, but I thought he was still aggressive, facilitate, moving the ball. So I thought he played a good game. They did. The one thing about when you play at home, has a peace of mind somewhat to be amongst your fans. And I thought our fans once again really represented to get our guys over that hump. And so now I think we can get where we need to be now. But you got to get that win. Like I told our guys, I mean, you have 4 losses in a row against good teams. Of course, you don't want to lose at home. We felt like we let some get away, had an opportunity to win, but they weren't bad teams. So you get a win, now you move forward. Well, it's great. I mean, because they're talented players, and I think in Derek's case, he'd probably be a lot farther along if it wasn't for the injury. Because you're talking about a guy, it wasn't like he practiced, for 3 months and then was on the floor. He wasn't practicing because of the injury. So now you put him out in situations. A guy probably lost 15 or 20 pounds of upper body muscle because he couldn't lift. So now he's not as physical as he needed to be. So I mean, he's just getting better. He's one of those guys getting better on the fly. He's still learning in practice. He has breakdowns in the game because of things he hadn't seen a lot, and he's going through. And he gets exposed to it in the game, but he can make shots, so he's a threat. He can make decisions with the basketball. And in Amani's case, just a tremendous job of a young man being patient. And as a coach, you tell me you're not ready to play, you got to keep working, work on your ball handling, work on your decision making. But he's one of the few guys I've ever really been around that he didn't take that and put his head down. He was hungry after that, and he fed off that. Now you see the results of a physical guy that comes in, put a lot of time in the AM, getting better. That's why he's playing the way he plays. I thought it was great for him. Now he can relax and facilitate. Now you got 2 guards defending. He can go off the bounce, and he can hit you. He's a 215 pounds, so he hits you. There's some compact to it. So, but it was just good to see. Let him play with ease. He's going to have a great career when it's all said and done. Derek, not really. Not really. Just going with the flow. Felt like we had great lineups. Not really. Oh, yeah, we did a lot last year. You know, it's tough when you have guys when you play against a team with 4 guard lineups, then you have to adjust. If we have an advantage with 2 traditional bigs, then you stick with it. But if we don't feel like that's an advantage, then we got to put ourselves in position to win the game. So we went smaller. I mean, you know, like I said before, Rick's a friend of mine. We've been longtime friends. We were friends before we became, you know, staff on the same staff. But at the end of the day, we both were trying to do the same thing, just get a win. It's nothing personal. His wife hung out with my wife, you know, today. So just a ball game. We move forward. We move on. Oh, he's high on the scouting report. Anytime you got a guy who can shoot the ball, it's a major threat. You got to really identify him, stay on top of him. But he made some really good pull-ups. I mean, I think it's probably something they do a lot of times. They did a good job as a team making pull-up, 1 or 2 dribble pull-ups, and he did that. I think he had 1 or 2 threes, but he did an exceptional job really working on that pull-up because I thought that was probably the thing he needed to improve in his game, the 1 or 2 dribble pull-up, and he did a good job with that tonight. Well, Jordan's one of our better guys at facilitating an offense. He can score the ball. He does a good job passing, attacking. And I think, you know, the fouls kind of slowed him up a little bit. But he's a guy that's smart enough to play with 3 and 4 fouls. So I put him out there in situations. But I just think he took what the defense gave him as opposed to trying to force shots. Not really, because he's played in 3 games, 2 or 3 games as a starting point. He scored 20 plus. But I think for us, in order for us to be successful as we need to be, Trey Golden need to be the point guard on a consistent basis. I think so. We've been in situations like this before. Just, you know, us maturing mentally, locking down on defense, moving the ball offensively, setting good screens, all the things we work on. It just, once you're able to get a win, now it's like, now you can breathe a little bit, let's move forward and play the way we're capable of playing. I still don't think we played great basketball tonight. I just think we were good enough to win the game. We had talent level in certain areas. Jonell dominated around the rim, Trey penetrating pitch, but I don't think we played at the level we're capable of playing at. I think so. I think so. There's still some, like I said, I think we've been on the 75% clip in those 4 losses. Maybe outside of, I think, the Ole Miss game, we didn't play well at all. But I think those other games, we have some mental breakdowns in there. And the team get a run, we break down on defense, don't execute offensively. And you can't do that when you're trying to be the best team you can be. You got to be clicking on all cylinders. Oh, high level of competitiveness. I mean, you have to compete because the talent is there. You got to compete at a high level. And in some ways, you got to take it personal when you're competing. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. You have to play it. It'd be even better if we won those games first, but, you know, you got to deal with it and move on. Thank you.